This month's Wayback travels 35 years to 1985 and the release of the Sega Mark III, later to be known as the Sega Master System. This wasn't Sega's first home console release, though since it shared much of the same hardware as the 2-year-old SG-1000 with a few additional improvements, one could think of this as a sort of mid-gen upgrade. Yeah, you didn't think that was something new, did you? The console itself had a striking style dominated by black and red, a theme which extended to its game cartridges as well. One oddity is that while the controllers had the familiar D-pad and 2-button style of its competitor, the NES, the Start button was actually located on the console itself. Aside from cartridges, there was also the option for a cheaper MyCard format, similar to the TurboGrafx 16's primary format. This slot could also be used for peripherals like the 3D glasses for supported games. The first game released specifically for the new console was the legendary Fantasy Zone. But one neat thing about the console is that you didn't even need to buy a new cartridge or card to get started. Every Master System came preloaded with a game or two that changed over the course of its run. The initial offering was a cute little game called Snail Maze. But later versions had Hang On, Safari Hunt, and much more. The library is pretty solid, and there are many, myself included, who prefer it to the NES, for its brighter sprites and its sound palette. However, Sega also fell victim to the harsh third-party licensing practices of Nintendo, and while they were able to fare much better than the Atari 7800, even beating out the NES in many regions of the world, it was officially discontinued by Sega in 1992. Well, in North America at least, Brazilians were just rabid for the thing, and a local distributor named Tectoy is still releasing games and console variations today, making this potentially the longest-lived console production cycle to date. My preferred method of playing SMS games is the Powerbase Mini, which lets you piggyback a cartridge into a Sega Genesis, though it didn't work with my Nomad. It's similar to the officially released Powerbase, just lacks a card slot. This has opened me up to a wonderful library, including legends like Alex Kidd, Phantasy Star, Zillion, and the aforementioned Fantasy Zone. In fact, the console footage earlier came from Start Over Games in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, who kindly allowed me to snap a quick video of the unit they had on display. All in all, I highly recommend diving into this if you're interested in third-generation gaming. Even the good games tend to be relatively inexpensive, and there are several to choose from. Got any favorites of your own on this classic beast? Let me know below or on Twitter at TesseractUnfold. Meanwhile, like, subscribe, spread the word, and I'll see you all again next week.